Hello everybody, welcome to Abnormal Investigations. I've got a couple of short ones I'm going to share with you today, and I hope you all enjoy them. This first one here comes out of Spicewood, Texas, so we'll go ahead and get into it. And don't forget, we now have merchandise if anybody's interested in merchandise, and I'll put the link in the description of this video. But a lot of people have been calling for merchandise, so we do now have merchandise. It happened when I was 17. And I'm almost 28 now. My grandpa's place in Spicewood, Texas is a sprawling 100 acres of testament to his success with roller rinks in Kansas City. He had a rescued bobcat named Junebug, whose fenced enclosure was her own private sanctuary. Junebug was same with my grandpa, but wary of everyone else, including me. That evening I set out on my usual walk, passing Junebug's enclosure, assuming she was inside. I continued on. With about 20 minutes of daylight left, I knew I'd be heading back soon. My siblings had opted out, choosing laziness over adventure. As I walked, the fading sunlight cast long shadows across the trees. The forest grew quiet, and I realized that the only sounds were my footsteps and breathing. No birds sang, no insects buzzed, and an unsettling feeling crept over me. Suddenly I sensed movement ahead. Something was trying to move quietly, but the rustling of the leaves betrayed its presence. My heart was racing, and I froze. A thicket of small trees about 12 feet away shook. Now, my grandpa's place in Spicewood, Texas is a sprawling 100 acres, a testament to his success, as I said. He had rescued a bobcat, and I loved it. But that evening, I set out on my usual walk, passing Junebug's enclosure, assuming she was still inside. Now remember, I don't know for sure. With about 20 minutes of daylight left, I knew I had to be headed home because I did not want to be caught out here in the darkness. Suddenly I did. I sensed movement ahead of me. Something was trying to move quietly, and I was able to hear it. It was smashing and cracking the leaves. My mind rushed. So, the first thing I thought is it had to be Junebug. But the head attached to those eyes was 3 to 4 times larger than Junebug's. The ears were identical, but the snout was elongated like a dog's, like a coyote. That's what I thought until it stood upon 2 legs. Humanoid legs. Its arms hung, ending in hands with razor-sharp claws. This was no ordinary animal. It was a damn werewolf. Paralyzed with fear, I waited for the inevitable. But the creature simply stood there, sizing me up. No growls, no snarls. After an eternity, it turned and walked away on all fours. I sprinted back to the house. My heart was racing. Junebug was nowhere to be seen in her outside enclosure, but inside is where she cowered under a platform, scared. My grandpa checked her enclosure, puzzled, and attributed my encounter to a stray dog. I know what I saw. To this day, I avoid walking the property at night, and I remain cautious during the day. That encounter may not have meant harm, but I never want to cross paths again with this creature. I just don't feel like it's there to be your friend. Was it a werewolf, a cryptid? I'll never know. But I do know that Spicewood holds secrets, and it's better to be safe than sorry. Some more events have occurred since this that I've sent in. We started having banging on the house. Grandpa moved Junebug into the house. The banging continued and continued and continued, and of course I started school. Later, my grandpa was found that winter. He had, as they said, fell off the porch and broke his neck on the concrete steps. I will never believe that Grandpa fell and broke his neck. I believe that whatever it was came back to finish off Grandpa. Junebug was in the house in an enclosure that Grandpa kept her in with a latch. The enclosure was opened, and Junebug was gone. Junebug has never been found to this day. I'm guessing that whatever it was killed Grandpa and took Junebug. Probably ate it. But the police and the authorities believe that Grandpa let Junebug out and took her outside, and when he fell and broke his neck, that she then got away. But there were no tracks in the snow for Junebug, but a long, worn-out path that ran to the woods, as if something had been traveling this path for quite some time in the snow. That's all we know at this time, Mike. I just wanted to share. Sounds pretty suspicious. I don't know about this one. I will let the people give you what they think about it. But definitely something running that path that makes you wonder. So I'm sorry for your loss, and we'll let the people decide and give you some answers and see what they think. Thank you for listening, guys. Keep your head on a swivel. Don't be something's dinner, and we'll see you on the next one.